What ho, Yorkie the Trader here. Once again, bringing you another episode of Out for Nowt. Let's see if we can get out for Nowt. Especially when we go to the Riven Lands and the Desert Kingdoms. Let's have a look, shall we? Take it back in time to my time as a Vagrus on a comitatus. We'd made it to one of the big cities, and it looks like we had a gladiatorial combat coming up. Don't know how that's going to go.
The Riven Realms, they call it.
Let's continue. Well, can we make it through this gladiatorial combat? I don't know. For the city, not today, perhaps tomorrow. The Undercity. Walk around the lakes. The largest open part of the Undercity is a series of caves with dark waters, forming underground lakes at their bottom. Inventive residents found a way to make up for lost living space by building their dwelling on stilts and rickety scaffolding. Still, parts of the lake are fairly abandoned and could even be considered tranquil. Walk around the lakeside, painfully aware that things are watching you from the table depth. Let's go away. Visit the pleasure houses. The Undercity is famous for its many brothels and harlots. Most of them are slaves belonging to one of the collegia or another criminal organisation. That means most of them are fairly clean and won't unexpectedly slit your throat. No one ever knows the Undercity. Hey, changer. Yes. Buy some of your crew a good time. Pay for quality. Time flies when someone has fun, they say. Wide grins on faces of crew members remain for a few days. Go to the bathhouse. I don't think we need the bathhouse if all we can do is borrow money. Leave the Undercity. The Civic District. In a perpetual twilight, the Civic District is a welcome smudge of colour and brightness. Lamps are kept lit, and night while soft music and song can be heard from the windows of marble villas. Oh, lit day and night, my mistake. Streets are kept relatively clean and rarely crowded apart from seasonal festivities and holidays, which usually turn the district into a sea of people and storm of noise. The Gardens of Laviana. The gardens are reputed as a place of tranquility and rendezvous point for lovers. On entering through an archway in its tall stone fence, you see several people loitering here, most of whom are clearly here for neither tranquility nor love, but more like some kind of gang members to you. Take a walk. The gardens are huge, so it takes quite a while to explore it. I expect the gardens to be primarily mushroom, given the conditions of the shelter. You're surprised there's a lot of variety beyond those. Bonivines engulfing areas like thick green spiderwebs, thickets of tree-sized fronds that undulate as if underwater, pale luminescent flowers on clearings, big stumps that look like grotesque tumours, and even structures of elongated trees, with mighty leaves and wet mouths. The ceiling of the cavern is lower here, and the only source of light are crystal lamps placed quite far apart. Walking around feels like wandering in an underground jungle of sorts. Often the only sign of a civilization is the presence of occasional overgrown stone pillar statues. No wonder people want privacy, and in a bustling city like Torzags tend to congregate here. The whole place reeks of neglect, and it's wildly overgrown. Do something else? Talk to the superintendent. Living in an overgrown shack at the back of Laviana's is a superintendent whose task is to look after the garden. A lean fellow with brown wise eyes and a slight overbite, he welcomes you with a smile and a nod, and then inquires how he can be of help. No questions. Questions, I see you smiled. I'm not much of a sage, but I'll do the best I can. Ask about the gardens. The superintendent sucks in air audibly. Oh, this place. He's lost in thought for a few seconds. He's old. I guess I like that about it. A lot, actually. They say when Liviana died, many of her acolytes dispersed to the four winds, trying to outdo each other and their master, really, by embarking on ambitious projects in the vein of what she had been known for doing. One of these students, whose name has been lost to history, founded a garden here of all places, no doubt wanting to demonstrate that fauna can evolve and survive in all but the most dire of environments. Needless to say, the powers to be in the city at the time, worshipping dark gods and ruling with an iron fist, did not support these endeavours. Yet the student persisted and, by some kind of power that was at his command, managed to enhance and sustain growth in the cavern. Even to this day, this power remains, so much so, in fact, that one does not have to do much work when it comes to tending the garden. It tends to itself. Indeed. Ask about Tim. Me, he says, not surprised. I'm a nobody, just a man who enjoys being left alone and living close to nature. No offence, I do enjoy talking to people every now and again, but I like it here, really, even if sometimes I feel constrained. I used to do a lot of things before this, though. Travelled the world, heard wise men talk, followed gods and priests. I even sold books at one time from a stall, if you believe it. This age is not of books and writers, nay. Notice how carved figurines and statuettes line the shelves at the back of the shack. Hobby of mine, one could say. Figurative art, yet organic. No master, but it helps kill time. And I often buy myself new ones, a collection of sorts. Take our leave. I'm rather concerned about approaching the gangs. I'll leave the gardens. The Arena Maximus. Easily the largest building of the district and perhaps the entire city is Arena Maximus. The grand fighting circle stands many stories tall, where Legio March Avenue and Mercator Street meet. Effectively on the border of merchant and civic districts, its circular form is a masterpiece of imperial architecture, harkening back to ancient times, and its sands are said to have seen thousands of deaths. You walk up to its immense garden gate. Garden gate? A guard informs you that the arena is closed for some time, and will only open if there are games going on, either thanks to a worthy sponsor or due to seasonal festivities. Try the Dragon's Nest Inn. The famous Dragon's Nest Inn is close to a traditional border of the market square, and thus in the vicinity of the city gate. Its exterior is not much to look at, a hodgepodge of old buildings, leaning together at the foot of a cave wall. A red dragon is painted above the entrance, above which rows upon rows of windows indicate that the rooms are carved into the rock itself. The inside is much more impressive. A huge skeleton of a dragon provides a frame for the common room, with its curling spine and many ribs serving as support for the ceiling and walls, while its immense skull was turned into a bar. The bartender gives out beverages and takes orders through the half-open jaws. The decoration is lavish but old, completed with paintings. I mean, that doesn't look like that could be a skull, but that doesn't look like a dragon skull. Alright. Decoration is lavish but old, completed with paintings, a collection of silver goblets, vines that run along the dragon bone, and 2 fireplaces that provide pleasant warmth. The rest of the establishment is beyond and above the common room, carved in the rock. Clientele is quite colourful and lacks the usual local derelicts that most taverns of the world have. Instead, you can see wealthy merchants, vaguely foreign nobles, fastidious escort girls, emissaries, artists, mercenaries, and travellers of all sorts here. Several passengers are looking for a comitatus or purchase quality booze. No. Let's have a look at the passengers. There is an odd density of faces around the bartender. The rest tend to draw travellers, but ever since the earthquake a few weeks ago, a lot of people seem to be displaced in one way or another. They were turned back by strange storms and insane winds in the north, or by morose legionnaires in the south. There's even talk of refugees from the Upper Empire. Upon hearing that you are looking for passengers for your comitatus, a grim-looking man in dark armour walks up to you and introduces himself. He is a priest of Sergorod, god of anger and revenge. The Church of Sergorod directed him to arrange his travel to the backwater town of Crystal in the west. Conduct an investigation there. He remains tight-lipped of the nature of said investigation, but assures you that it will not be a burden. He travels alone and keeps to himself. We'll give you 2 lurg now and 8 lurg. Lurg's that, isn't it? Yes. When I get there. Yes, I'm happy with that. The famed Dragon's Nest Inn is close to the traditional border of the market square, and thus in the vicinity of the city gate. The exterior is not much to look at. A hodgepodge. We've read that. What am I doing? Leave the Dragon's Nest Inn. Visit the Bestiaris Arena. The Bestiaris Arena is an old fighting pit, walled off from the streets crossing the Civic District to the upper end of the city. Prices are lower here and fighters need not be accepted into the circle of gladiators. All pit fights are against monsters, beasts and dangerous animals. All of them are messy and considered very entertaining. Consequently, the place is usually abuzz with very colourful crowd, as are the watering holes. The arena's owner runs it almost exclusively by slave attendants. Leave. Public libraries probably closed if it's not a time for books. Temporarily closed, I thought so. Infirmary? Might be good to get some stuff. The infirmary, called Hospitium Anima Lazis, is run by a lively woman with a mane of very black hair. Wavy black hair. Large warm eyes, and nigh permanent smile. Quite unusual for someone around wounded and sick people all the time. She welcomes you into her establishment, housed in a clean and well-maintained building. The stench of disinfectant elixirs and urine is constantly in the air. Services are open to anyone, though not affordable by most. Let's see. Medical supplies for the road. Medical supplies in bulk. We'll take that. Right. We don't have trained healers, so I'm not worried about that right now. Leave the district. The market district. Rolling over a dozen blocks close to the city, the market district is a bustling, crowded place where you can buy and sell almost anything imaginable. Anyone entering the labyrinth of stalls, shops and bazaars is constantly bombarded by a wide range of strong smells and invaded by the competing shouts of peddlers and salesmen. Visit the market. The Calrish Market occupies several streets and a spacious plaza to the north side of the district. Though its location is fixed, its residents are anything but. Because of the nomadic lifestyle of the Calrish, no tribal merchant of theirs stays long in Tolzag. Yet there are always enough of them here to make good business constantly. Many of them peddling their wares literally from the backs of Calrish. From their backs, the Calrish are enthusiastic handlers. What's available? Ivory. One common jewel. I'm not sure that I can do anything there right now. Listen to the news. News and rumours here change hands just as fast as goods and wares do. That said, you will have to open your purse if you hope to get anything new. Let's see. There's a lot of things, but none of it proves useful. Shame. Visits Braxius in his store. We know this gentleman. Dwarven gadgets? Do we have dwarven gadgets? Yes, we do. I don't know that we want to get rid of that, though. Still an ancient tablet. I don't know that we need to get rid of this stuff right now, so do something else. Was prepared to attract all manner of predators. Ideal to lure beasts away from you. No. I mean, good, but not primary importance right now. Try the pendant with the opal eye. Improves magic sense. Hunting. Improves charisma. No. Can you find other people? I'm afraid I can't be of help with that, Captain. I haven't heard of anyone who would qualify. Very well. Leave. And go to the compound and see what we can do here. The compound that houses the Gladiator School of Dreus is in the southwest end of the Market District, a fairly scarcely populated part of the city, filled between dilapidated houses and sturdy buildings of the school, surrounded by a tall stone fence. One would expect to hear commands shouted at the trainees, or the clamour of practice weapons, but there is only silence. Standing at the single entrance gate to the compound, you can see that you'll be able to enter the main hall unhindered. Enter. You walk into the atrium that serves the main hall and call out loud to see if anyone is there. In the poor light provided by the few braziers and twinkling crystal lamps, you notice a man enter and walk slowly towards you. Alf, he says, without enthusiasm. I'm afraid I cannot help you. The school is all but closed permanently. The man is wearing leather armour in the imperial style, complete with a gladius and a pugio hanging from his belt. His bitter face is framed by balding hair turning grey. This must be Dreus, the school's owner. A large shadow appears in one of the archways. You cannot see the person it belongs to, only feel the intimidating presence. What happened to the school? Dreus sighs in exasperation. I'm sorry, it's just that I've told this story so many times, it's slowly getting to me. In short, we had an unfortunate accident in which one of my trainees got hurt, the son of an influential man, a Tarkian diplomat, who has the ear of some of the city's leaders. The man is out for revenge, even though his son made the mistake, not the school. Now, he is out to destroy me. The instructors have left. I paid exploitive fines several times and lost most of my trainees. You feel the gaze of the shadowy figure pierce you. Even though, Dreus says, sitting down on a stone bench, I was given a chance to clear my name, I would have to win a gladiatorial match without gladiators. Not entirely without gladiators, the voice growls from the shadows. You watch the huge orc stalks into the atrium and leans against a pillar. This is Gorgoro, a good friend of mine, Dreus indicates the orc. Who sent you here? The large warrior asks you coolly. Have you come to gloat to offer a laughable prize for the school? You tell them you have no such intention. You're a Vagrus who heard of Dreus' unfortunate predicament. Ah, well, you've got to forgive Gorgoro here. He's very protective of his friends, the instructor tells you. As you can see, we're in no position to be of any service right now, so if you'd excuse us. Offer your help in the incoming match. Dreus faces, knowing that Braxius will back you. I was about to leave the city anyway, and I would be honoured to work for you, Vagrus. Accept Gorgoro's offer and pledge yourself to help in the arena match. Right, Dreus shakes his hand. Now I'll go and set up the match with those bastards. I'll need you to be at the house, at the Hortius Gardis fighting pit the next morning. It's where the Legio March Avenue crosses Avara Square. Make sure your fighters are well rested too. We will have a rough morning. Gorgoro slaps you on the back as he walks out of the atrium with a grin. Hey now, nice companions. And day. Next morning you arrive at the agreed on place. Rez and Gorgoro are already there. The Hortius Girdis fighting pit is a small arena built of grey stone where the Legio March Avenue crosses Arborus Square. One moment, please. An old building, even somewhat crumbling, the stage has seen its heyday while the larger colosseums were built in the city and claimed the crowds. Today it is used for small matches, district fighters compete for local recognition, etc. etc. The chill morning, Drace and Gorgoro are standing at the entrance and greet you curtly. The orc brimming with energy, but the instructor looks like he hasn't slept at all. "You're here," Drace says, and you catch a hint of admiration in his voice. "I'm honoured. Let's do this." You enter the building. After entering through the gate and following the others down some dark corridors, you ascend a set of stairs and arrive in a premium seat box. This is where you meet Praetor Paulus Ontius. The small, aging magistrate sits in the high-backed chair with a bored expression, wrapped in furs against the chill air. Overseeing this matter is clearly a great inconvenience for him. A tall, thin fellow in a turban, colourful clothes and expansive jewellery is buzzing around the Praetor, whispering in his ear constantly. This must be the man who Drace has wronged and now has to face. The instructor walks up to them while Gorgoro and you stay back. He speaks to them briefly and you can see both the indifference on the face of the Praetor and the contempt on the face of the Tarkian diplomat. Then you spot a boy of 10 or 12 in Tarkian garb standing behind the row of chairs. His left eye and forehead are bandaged. He is holding a hand of a little girl with shaggy brown hair and large eyes. Drace walks over to the little girl, kneels down and hugs her, says something to him, and strokes his face. "His daughter," Gorgoro growls in a low voice. You can feel his seething rage. "She was taken by the Praetor until the matter is resolved. Let's leverage. You accompany them." You descend into the cavernous hall, where gladiators and pit fighters prepare their fights. Faded training dummies, broken practice weapons, and discarded fighting gear clutter the room. An archway to the right is closed by portcullis, but beyond, the filthy sand of the arena is clearly visible. Factious fighters await you here. The two fighters practice scent are no joke. They look more like thugs. Everything about them, their posture, gaze, cruel weapons, tells you a tale of brutality that is just what you need now. You exchange words with them and they assure you they will follow Gorgoro's lead. Reyes goes on preparing Gorgoro, but the orc shoots down his attempts at coaching him quickly. "Remember how I'm a champion of tournaments, buddy?" the warrior grins. "I can see that you're upset, but let me do what I do best. I promise you will get her back." About the little girl. "My daughter, Drianna," he says, and shakes his head. "What a damn tragedy. A father unable to protect his daughter, but don't mind me, Vagrus. Will come to no harm, this war. But they had to keep her, you see, in case I decided to run for it instead of facing my accuser." Ask Drace about the boy. "Poor Ayod," Drace sighs. "Losing an eye is terribly unfortunate. Yet the boy was sent to the school by his father partly to cut back from his attitude. And his attitude that got him too cocky in sparring, which resulted in the injury. You can see that the instructor feels sorry for the boy, but also considers himself beyond fault in the matter. He's a good kid," he adds, shaking his head sadly. Gorgoro what to expect. "Three gladiators," the large orc says while putting on his breastplate. "And no pushovers either. These are the three veterans of the arena. Vagrus. Hope your guys are up to it. There will be a Murmillo, a Veles for sure. That's a tough shielded opponent and a spear and buckler guy." We discussed tactics briefly. "I already told your fighters to give me some space in the beginning. I can charge the bastards, but I need a clear path ahead of me for that to work." "You are ready. Let it begin. You and Dreas take your place at the gate to be able to see everything. Your fighters walk into the arena, led by a snarling Gorgoro. He raises his terrifying battle axe high as the audience cheers him. Darkian diplomat is shouting angrily at his hired fighters from the seat box. The Praetor gives a signal while suppressing a yawn, and the fight commences. Round 1. Right. You need to stay back. Rigorous jab, hamstring. Bogro. Oh. He can't shout. He can't charge. Under his armor if we can. Ouch. Ouch. Ah, was he blocked? Good. Why is the charge not working? What's the argument here? Ah, does he need to move back? Well, that's silly. Evaded. Ow. Now he might be able to do it. Yes, he can. No, he can't because they're in the way now. Interesting. Can't get down to him. And that's him blocked. Now him. Missed. That's not good. He's hurt and knocked back. And he's dead. He's going to be dead soon. Big damage. No damage. That was unfortunate. 4 damage to him. Oh, we're almost done. That's unfortunate. Thundered. Only 1 damage. And he's about to die. They all are actually. He's dead. Good. I'm starting to think we might have a chance. Evaded, unfortunate. Locked one. Thunder. Unfortunate. Down to the last part. Step back. Ah. Evaded, that's not good. I should have done what I thought. He's dead. Step back. He's dead. And he can't this is not good. This is risking us losing here. That was stupid. Why couldn't I use any of the powers? Very well. Ogre, your gladiator out on the sand, bloodied, defeated but alive. The crowd is booing, but Tarkin diplomat is laughing heartily. There's no more dispute, no more question about Drea's honor. You lost. His truck looks broken. He pats the wound on Gogoro. At least that is a consolation. In half an hour, after you had sent Braxius men away, you, Gogoro, Dreas, and his daughter are walking back to the school. As you get there, the weary Dreas turns to you. I'm grateful, Vagrus, that you risked your people to help me out. Unfortunately, how it all turned out, but the arena is where justice is born. Just not today. I'll have to sell what's left of the school now and leave the city with Driana. Anyway, thanks again, and good luck on your journeys. The little girl waves at you, and they go in. I can't leave them to their fate, Vagrus. The old warrior tells you, our deal is off. Well, we can't win them all, can we? And with that loss, I think that's where we will end it for this episode. Unfortunate, but there you are. Right, I've been Trader Yorkie. Pip pip, and I'll see you next time.